Newsom condemned the action as inflammatory, called on the administration to rescind it, said they were manufacturing a crisis.
This is what the civic area in downtown Los Angeles looks like. These are the skeletons of Waymo self-driving electric vehicles. You can see there's a series of about 5 of them here just beyond. That's what the rest of this downtown area in LA looks like. A maze of police checkpoints. Just over my right shoulder, that's the 101 freeway. It was blocked on both sides by hundreds of protesters. And those clashes just ending a short time ago, early this morning. Overnight chaos erupting in the streets of Los Angeles as protesters and police clashed. Tensions escalated Sunday as thousands of protesters took to the streets in response to President Donald Trump's extraordinary deployment of the California National Guard. Governor Gavin Newsom saying it was assistance he didn't ask for.
We are here to support local law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office, LAPD, but they didn't need that support. He made this up. This is a manufactured crisis.
Multiple vehicles set on fire, covered in graffiti and lemon ice. An electric scooter thrown from an overpass, damaging a highway patrol vehicle, which was then set on fire. Many hundreds descending on the 101 freeway, blocking traffic in both directions. The LAPD mobilizing resources and LA's mayor pleading for calm.
Our city does not need to be torn apart.
Earlier Sunday, demonstrators swarming LA's federal building, hundreds of LAPD officers responding. And in the ensuing clashes, the LAPD says multiple officers were injured when 2 people on motorcycles tried to crash through that police line and were right there as it happened. Just moments ago, there's some projectiles being thrown. Just moments ago, a motorcycle seemed to try to break through the police skirmish line. And now you can hear all those flashbangs going off. Police are trying to push those protesters back, firing those less than lethals at very close range. And you can see those projectiles being thrown over. Now that motorcyclist being hauled in here. Looks like he's being arrested. Police deployed flashbangs. The streets littered with debris and broken glass. At this point, more than 25 demonstrators arrested after failing to disperse. The escalation began Friday when federal immigration authorities began a series of sweeps in greater Los Angeles, arresting more than 100 people. The demonstrations now entering day 4. Hundreds of National Guard troops were deployed on the streets of LA over the weekend. President Trump bypassing California's governor, ordering up to 2,000 guardsmen to deploy across Southern California. On Saturday in Paramount, just south of Los Angeles, thick black smoke filling the sky after cars were set on fire. The anger coming after reports of an immigration raid on the community, with Paramount Mayor Peggy Lemon saying there was not a raid, the agents were there staging. And in a rare scene Saturday afternoon, a Black Hawk helped staging. And in a rare scene Saturday afternoon, a Black Hawk helicopter landing in the parking lot of a Homeland Security office, agents unloading supplies for federal law enforcement. California Governor Gavin Newsom calling on the Trump administration to revoke the order to deploy the California National Guard, saying it only makes matters worse. A memo signed by all the Democratic governors says the activation of guardsmen in their own borders without consulting or working with the state's governor is ineffective and dangerous. But President Trump now saying even active duty Marines could be deployed as 500 remain on standby.
The bar for sending Marines.
The bar is what I think it is. I mean, if we see danger to our country and to our citizens, we'll be very, very strong in terms of law and order.
The United States is divided on just about every issue: immigration, race, gay marriage, transgenderism, abortion, and the list goes on. Jesus said that a kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, as we read in Matthew 12:25. But Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them, "Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself will not stand." My question is this: how much time does America have until it is brought to desolation?
Very fiery weekend in Los Angeles. Rioters protesting immigration raids burned cars, fought with the police, and then President Trump called up the National Guard.
California's Governor Newsom railed against the president's move. He claims it's only increasing the cycle of violence.
President Trump called up National Guard troops in response to protests that turned violent over the weekend. Last night, those protests continued. The Los Angeles Police Department declared an unlawful assembly Sunday night as protesters failed to disperse in the downtown area. Rioters blocked a major freeway and set cars on fire as law enforcement used tear gas, rubber bullets, and flashbangs to control the crowd. Protesters launched fireworks toward police.
We had individuals out there shooting commercial-grade fireworks at our officers. That can kill you. And we have adapted our tactics to be able to have a chance to be able to take these people into custody and to be able to hold them accountable.
LA Chief Jim McDonnell called the violence disgusting.
We are overwhelmed.
President Trump says he's not ruled out Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's suggestion of mobilizing active duty Marines if the clashes continue.
We see danger to our country and to our citizens, and we'll be very, very strong in terms of law and order.
California Governor Gavin Newsom blamed Trump for the riots.
Donald Trump has created the conditions you see on your TV tonight. He's exacerbated the conditions ever since he announced he was taking over the National Guard. In a legal act, an immoral act, an unconstitutional act.
Newsom also took aim at Trump immigration czar Tom Homan on X. Trump's border czar is threatening to arrest me for speaking out. Come and get me, tough guy. Republicans in Washington defended the president's decision.
Do you have any problem or any concerns about the president sending in the National Guard to a place where local authorities say that they're not needed and could be harmful?
I have no concern about that at all. I think the president did exactly what he needed to do.
President Trump is putting the safety of the communities that are being impacted by these riots and by these protests that have turned violent. And he's putting the safety of our law enforcement officers first.
Jesus said, as a sign of his coming and the end of the age, there would be an increase in deception, false Christs who will deceive many, wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom, famines, pestilences, earthquakes, Christian persecution, apostasy, false prophets, and lawlessness, causing the love of many to grow cold. Jesus said all of these signs would come like birth pains. Jesus was likening last day's events to a woman in labor. As the labor progresses, the pains increase in both frequency and intensity until the baby finally comes. As we get closer to Jesus' return, all the signs he gave us as a sign of his coming and the end of the age will become more frequent and more intense. All of these signs are manifesting around the world in our time. John 15:18-20. If the world hates you, you know that it hated you before it hated you. If you were of the world would love its own. Yet because you're not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you.
Christians are being slaughtered right now in Nigeria, and the world media just looks away. Well, Masara Kim, a reporter for Truth Nigeria, is here with some breaking details. So Masara, we don't want secondhand reports. We don't want to hear, this person knows this person. You're on the ground, so tell us what is happening right now to the Christian community in your part of Nigeria.
The attacks are ongoing as we speak right now, and we do not have all the facts. The details are still a bit sketchy, and we're still gathering information chiefly from witnesses who are still ducking for cover. But so far, in the past 1 week, well over 86 people have been slaughtered in just one county in Benue State alone. Others that have happened in the Guma County, which is presently witnessing the ongoing attacks as we speak, and more than 20 that have been slaughtered in the state of Plateau just in the past 1 week.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Afflicted is the Greek word thalipsis, which means pressure. Matthew 24:9 can be translated like this. Then shall they deliver you up to be pressured, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. This is exactly what we are seeing all over the world today.
Well, Masara, you sent me some really